wonderful that you can't see what we see. This is how to watch TV. On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV. On Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV.
The Leftovers with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel. This is Jeremy.
We are brought to you by Comeuppance Network. You can check out all of our social media links at thisishowtowatchtv.com. Also, email us directly with anything, comments, shows to watch, any suggestions, questions at thisishowtowatchtv@gmail.com. Also, just, quick, brief interaction. Hit us up there on Twitter.
Also, it is the holiday season, and as this is a free podcast / show, if you would like to support us, please click through our Amazon links. Those will be up on thisishowtowatchtv.com shortly. You just click through there, and it gives us a little small percentage of your transaction. You don't have to buy anything extra. It's just blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
It's really not a lot of money, so we're not going to get rich off or anything, but it'll help us keep doing this.
Yeah, it'll make us feel good when we collect like $4 when they send it to us after $3 months. We're like, yes, $4. I can buy that pack of smokes I've been saving up for 4 years.
Except you don't smoke.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know what's been going on. We watched The Leftovers here.
Little brief in between one day in between podcasts.
Yeah, we're finally caught up.
We're caught up. Well, not completely. I'm not completely caught up on The Walking Dead.
But we're not doing that.
We're not doing that right now. We're talking Leftovers. So
yeah, we haven't decided if we're going to continue the Walking Dead one at the moment. We'll probably do it in some different incarnation, maybe once per 8 or something like that.
It's a lot to talk about, but it's just not a lot of people are listening to it.
Yeah,
because opposed to The Leftovers, like we get a lot of things. So if you're watching The Leftovers, and you like The Walking Dead, tell us if you want us to keep it going.
If you're like, okay, we're only putting up with you because you're talking about a show that we really like, then fine, I get it. I totally get that, because that's I'm just like, okay, what show are you talking about? If it's not one I care about, then I'm out.
Right.
So that's why I split them all up into different feeds. You can subscribe on iTunes that way. Blah blah. Or
blah. You can look at it like, so if you haven't watched The Walking Dead, you of course don't listen to the Walking Dead podcast because you'll be spoiled.
Well, we've only been doing it as a dedicated show since season 6, so it's like meh. It's not like we've done all the seasons up till now.
That's because that was my fault, because I wasn't caught up until end of season 5.
I didn't even watch it until season 3 was going on TV or whatever. Anyway, Leftovers.
Really quiet Darth Vapor down.
Season 2, episode 5, No Room at the Inn. Which, I mean, they're flaunting the thing in my face about the 1 in, 1 out thing.
You're basically all but right.
It has to be that. Like they're using the number thing now, where they're chanting it. Or
9,262.
Nope.
I did
9,261. Damn it.
Right.
So Matt is like totally creepy.
Man.
He's
he was
watching
creepy before, though.
Yes, he absolutely was. He's been creepy. People are like, oh, he's so pure, and he's kind of creepy.
No, he's creepy.
Yeah.
That's all that he's creepy.
I don't disagree with you on that. He's definitely creepy. He was watching time lapses of her sleeping. Seemingly every day. It was like showing his routine of creepiness.
Right.
Okay, so let me just ask you this. Do you think that she woke up?
No.
You don't think she did? You think he
saw her
sexed her corpse?
Just like he saw her in the car. And she spoke to him in the car.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of like, like a knocked out state. Like
a
mirage. It was the same deal.
You think so you think that he got her pregnant by sexing her limp body?
So what? And that's considered rape?
Well, yeah, she can't consent to anything.
I get it. Okay, I'm just saying, but it's his wife. It's not like it's a random person.
But still, she can't consent to anything.
Okay, all right.
Even though she agreed to let him, in theory, for the rest of their lives, but not when she's not there.
Yes, and okay, that's...
I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to be creepy myself. I'm just saying. Like
I, however, think that she did wake up.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
But like the interaction on Reddit said, I don't think that she would be in the mood for sexing during that time period.
So do you think he raped her while she was awake?
No, I still don't think that happened either. But I mean,
so you think you still think she woke up, but he still sexed her corpse?
No, I think that
No. She's not a corpse.
Yeah,
she's
alive. Who has the easiest acting job on this show?
Well, no
I thought
shit.
the Guilty Remnants had it for not having to talk.
She did.
But that's difficult. She literally just has to stare and blink. Like anybody could do that.
Right. She had one line.
Oh yeah, that's right. In the car.
Yeah.
She was like, "Woohoo! I get to act in this one. I'm going to act the shit out of this."
I did not see him stepping on his hand like that. That was fucking brutal, man.
To get the break.
I did not see that coming.
Hasn't Matt gotten in trouble before stopping and helping somebody? I can't remember the exact details of it, but I swear in season 1 that happened.
It was stopping and helping the guilty remnant. Yeah.
And something bad ended up happening to him.
Yeah, he got a rock thrown at his head or something. Or maybe that was Kevin. I don't remember. Yes, but I think you're right. I think he totally did stop to help somebody, and something bad happened. Wasn't it have to do with the money when he had the money and was trying to race and get to save his church?
I think so. It might have been something during that time.
And then he stopped. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and remember he left the door open and left the money laying in the seat. Okay.
It feels like he's got one of those life-size dolls. That's what he feels like when he's moving her around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird.
It is, but not necessarily in this world.
I mean, I guess it
doesn't really have anything to do with it. She's there. She didn't depart, right? Maybe her mind departed. I don't know what happened there.
Do you think maybe? Well, no, because she wasn't even in. If that's assuming miracle, Jordan is anything. I mean, could they be any closer to the Garden of Eden with, Evie disappearing?
Okay.
Eve.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little on the nose there. But did you notice the goat guy walking by?
I've seen him in a couple episodes.
Yeah, he keeps
walking by here and there.
So that's fine. No problem. Him
sacrificing goats. That was our subscribers' problem with it. It was he's John's okay with this kind of stuff.
Certain kinds of.
Why wouldn't he have kicked the shit out of that guy? He burned his house down and kicked him out or something.
There has to be something. There has to be a connection to the ones that he's losing his shit over. One, Isaac. He threatened. He basically said something bad's going to happen to you. He doesn't like Matt because Matt is perpetuating that there are miracles in miracle. Matt. He really cut Matt off when he was trying to talk. When he was trying to tell the story of his wife waking up, he just cut him off. In the previously on, I was like, oh shit, I didn't even catch that before.
I don't think it was him that cut him off. It was
John.
Of the.
It was him. Yeah, it was.
No, because John was looking at him all crazy, and the dude stopped him. The pastor or whatever stopped him because he knew how John would react.
Okay, yeah. Because then he was like, "What were you gonna say?" He was afterwards. He asked him what he was actually going to be, blabbing on about. So yeah, he's just on some mission to keep the miracle talk, I guess, down to a minimum. Right? I can't really figure out what his goal is there, other than he wants to break the illusion that the place is anything special.
I don't know why he feels the need to do that, though. Why, like Matt asked him the question at the end of the episode, what are you so angry about? What happened to you? It can't be because you're your daughter, because you were like this beforehand. What happened to him? That, why does he so disbelieving?
As you were saying, is that what was the theory about him? That he experienced some sort of loss during the sudden departure, whether it be his wife, maybe she was pregnant and nobody knew about it but her. Presumably there would have been a doctor, though, but she is a doctor.
His wife.
That's how she could know, and no doctor would know.
About what?
That's how there would be no trace of her being pregnant.
Oh, going back to the theory of her losing the baby or something like that.
Well, that John experienced some personal loss. Otherwise, he wouldn't be taking it so personally. When a neighbor or something have known that they had another kid? When people say that the place is special, there's something that tells him that he knows that it's not. So if it's that his wife lost a baby, it makes sense because she's a doctor. She could do her own ultrasound.
Right. Lori can't be the only one in the world that happened to.
And that would be pretty coincidental if they moved in next door to somebody who also had that happen.
But Lori didn't move in, but Kevin did.
But they stuck it out. They stuck together. I mean, I always felt like Lori was just a bit fragile. You know, I think that's on her more than it is on. I don't know, because John's wife seemed to be. Who knows? We're speculating that she actually did, miscarry, or that it was a departure. But that would be a technical loophole in how they could get past the people that are coming by to verify.
Yeah, see, how would they have gotten away with that if that was the case?
Only way.
Would her have done her own?
She's a doctor,
yeah.
And she is, so. Still more comments during when he was doing
Why is everybody so afraid of him?
Who?
John. He seems like he runs the whole town.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he just burned Eddie Winslow's house down.
Without repercussion. Without the cops coming and anything. He's only a fireman. He's not like the police chief.
Well, I mean...
You know what I mean?
He must have pull.
Exactly. So, but why? We haven't figured that out yet, I guess. No. Why is he so feared? You know? Because like I said, during that previous Leon, it was the pastor that stopped Matt from telling the whole story. Because he saw John looking at him from the congregation.
Yeah, okay, shut him up.
Yeah,
like,
well, if
you don't think that
if the pastor finishes this, lets him finish, then he knows what John's reaction is going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So, So yeah, I guess we look forward to finding that out. That's a question we hope to get answered. Is what happened? Why does John? What happened to his family? I think it could be that they did lose somebody. Like they're the only ones that lost anybody in the whole thing, and they lied about it because.
And that's why he's so angry. As well as, I mean, maybe she's just.
How good of an actor is that dude?
John's
pretty good.
I don't think I've seen him in anything before
that
stands out, and he's doing well.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And I can't remember what the lady's from, what the mom's from, but a bunch of stuff I've seen her in. I was just thinking on the part with him doing the daily routine, like she looked like she was barely tolerating him the whole time, and like that's how I feel about him. I barely tolerate Matt. There's nothing about him other than his like sense of being willing to do whatever for other people. Like I don't like him. He's not.
No, he's creepy. He's weird.
Not even just the creepy part. It's just like he seems like he's always. I can't really quantify it with words. I don't know how to say it right. Like because it's not that I dislike him, but he's off-putting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like his style.
As a person.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's probably tough to deal with somebody like that. You know?
Yeah. So he ended up like screaming at her, begging her to.
And then being caught on camera doing it,
and then seeing himself, and he got pissed.
Yeah.
So Matt decides he's going to take Mary out of the park. Now, was that where they were going to do the testing? Were they leaving Miracle to do the test?
Yeah.
And he was saying that we do this every so often. I can't remember exactly how long it was. But he ended up dropping his phone in the toilet, which is always...
Right after he peed in it.
Yeah. It couldn't be right before.
Right.
Or secure your phone before you pee. What are you doing?
Just don't use your phone while you're peeing.
Yeah, or have a lanyard. Doesn't drop in the toilet. My phone hangs precariously over that toilet all the time, and I have utter confidence that it'll be just fine. If you want to buy my lanyard, hit me up on the website.
Shameless self-promotion.
Shameless plug. I like that his ringer was Hallelujah. That made me laugh.
Yeah, it did. How more pretentious of a douchebag could you be? Like,
well, I mean that's sort of like what's acceptable to have as a ringtone for a preacher. You know, you gotta have Hallelujah.
Just have a regular ringtone.
I guess.
Just have it beep or vibrate.
That's part of the off-puttingness, I guess.
Exactly.
They get him to come back and try to sign a waiver of liability. And that was when he finds out that his wife is pregnant. But The guy is like totally implying that he raped her.
Oh yeah.
Just man.
Seriously.
The way everybody jumps right to that, I don't think that he would do that. Now, is it delusion? Is he delusional that she woke up and did it thinking
That's
that
a
she was
possibility.
awake? But I mean, he would have to be like moving her dead weight around to do anything. Like that's not, he would know he's doing that. Even if he was seeing things, he would still be knowing that, like, that's a limp leg I had to lift up. That's dead ass weight.
I mean, that goes to he goes to say that Ed Norton would have known that he was beating the shit out of himself in Fight Club.
Oh, spoiler alert.
What do you mean, spoiler alert? That movie's 10 years old, over 10 years old.
Yeah, but if somebody never watched Sixth Sense, are you going to ruin it for them?
Yes. I'll do it right now.
Jen did. Still never forgave her. She's lucky.
Ruined that movie for you?
6 seconds before they said it. Like, we're in the theater, and she goes, oh, you know he's dead, right? I'm like... and then yeah.
How did you, like, not break up with her at that point?
I wasn't that serious into caring.
I was going to say, if you were like you are now, you'd probably be like, we're done.
That's what started my obsession with spoilers. Like, okay, I don't want to be spoiled on anything.
Right. Wow,
Let me just watch
that
stuff.
sucks.
Yeah, right in the fucking theater.
Right before it.
Right before. I mean, maybe 30 seconds. I'm just sitting there watching, like, wondering what's going on, and then she's just like, you know he's dead, right? And, like, has been for a while. I'm like, what?
Why would you...
So, anyway, he thinks the reason that she woke up was so that she could get pregnant, because they've been trying for 10 years or whatever.
So you think that's the reason why?
He thinks that's the reason why she woke up. Matt does.
Okay. I'll buy that.
And then he goes and helps the guy with the broken down thing and gets his ass beat with a wrench.
And clocked in the head with a wrench.
And then his hand stomped, which
I mean...
Yeah, you're right. I was not expecting it to be
like I almost broke out in a sweat.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, that would hurt. I mean, just crush your...
Oh, God, yeah. And he, like, stomped twice or 3 times. It didn't look pleasant at all.
No.
Stuff's going to be jacked up there for a while. So Mary then tells him to hurry up and get them back in. So she's perpetuating this. I don't know, man. Because
So you think she woke up at that point?
No.
So you think that was delusion?
I think that one was absolutely delusion, but I don't... He didn't physically interact with her.
I think that was us telling... That was them telling us that it wasn't true. That he dreamt it.
Not. Because, I mean, he's already creepy
There's no
enough.
miracles in miracle.
We don't need rapey guy. We don't need rapey delusional
I don't know, man.
priest.
I don't know. Like, I wanted to buy Eddie Winslow's... what he was selling. I mean, he said it. Something bad was going to happen. Something bad happened. He was right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people seem to have powers.
I mean, Holy Wayne.
We've discussed this. People have powers in this world. So I feel like she was able to come back to life in order to breed. Maybe she did just go... That would be the only way that it would make sense. Like, look, we've been talking for a few hours. You're sort of creepy, Matt. Can you just shut up and, like, do me so we could reproduce and maybe this will keep me awake? Like, there's maybe some logic there. That, like, if I get pregnant or, you know, we at least try, you know, when are we going to get a chance again?
Know.
Maybe I will go back to sleep, you know. Does she know that she was asleep? This is assuming that she did wake up.
See, that's why I'm thinking it was delusion. Because if she woke up, regardless, okay, if she would have woke up, she wouldn't have been able to move her arms and legs, dude. It's called entropy.
Atrophy.
Atrophy.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have been able to do, like, you know what I'm saying? She hasn't used those limbs in so long. She wouldn't have been able to have sex.
Yeah.
You know, she would have been like, take me to the hospital. It wouldn't have been like this pleasant conversation. He dreamed the whole thing. It happened in his head. And yes, he had sex with her inanimate
So, okay,
body.
so then you're
He's super
persuading
creepy.
me in that direction, but so now, but is he just that delusional that
Yes.
he doesn't, he just wants to believe so badly, and
So
that's
badly.
why blind faith is not
And
necessarily
he
a good
has it.
thing.
He's a victim
Maybe
of
just
blind
a little
faith.
bit of proof for stuff.
I mean,
is better than none.
That's why and like, I get him standing up for his beliefs, you know, even when he stood up to John at the end and said, that's what happened, and I'm never going to believe otherwise. Dude, That's not what happened, man. He
I don't want to believe that he's actually that he actually like
I
did
you know
that.
maybe, but but during that delusion, like he probably thought it was real, man. Like you can't say that he was like, you know, like you know what I mean, like all super creepy, you know, like.
So, like, in his mind, okay, so now what I'm picturing is, like, his point of view, like, where you see him in the middle of it, like,
Right.
and he's going at it, and, like, she's all loving,
Yeah,
and they're
right.
embracing, and then it cuts to the wide shot with no music
It's just
playing,
like-
and then it's, like, her limp body just, Jesus, that's terrible, but
Yeah.
that's what I picture, just, like,
Yeah.
the limp body. Just,
Exactly.
Oh, Matt. Come on, man.
Come on, you know that's what happened. I know you don't want to believe it, but that's come on. I think they
I
told
almost
us
believe it
by
does.
by
That is
him
what
being all
happened.
like, oh, knocked out, you know.
To be fair, he got beaten
Come
in
on,
the
I
head.
get, but
I like to think that
that
there's
puts you-
magic in this world in a way. You know, there are some miracles, if you want to call them that. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not leaning towards that term in any way, but like that there are things that can't be explained rationally in this world. Like, you know, millions of people disappeared. That's sort of...
yeah, I get that. I understand that, but I don't think
maybe that's all that thing serves to do. Set up some of the character arcs and prove that, you know, bad... lost it. I forgot what I was saying. Totally lost it.
wow, that was like mid sentence.
I know, but because I added that before what the thing was, I should have just gone right into it.
Yeah,
but
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, whatever.
But Matt, it's just maybe his character arc is to show us that blind faith and just like believing so thoroughly in something isn't necessarily a good thing. Because it can lead to delusions and you know what I mean?
Well,
and
like the hearing what you want. Wasn't that in that episode? Or no, maybe not. I can't remember. Like you're only hearing what you want to hear.
right.
I thought that they were saying something about that when he was talking to some of the townsfolk. I don't know. Let's see.
It's hard to view him like a good guy, but like he is a good dude. But he's just been his faith has been tested and pushed to a point to where it's driven him a little crazy. Don't
Yeah,
you think?
I guess so. I mean,
The thing with his wife and the departure, all that shit happening all at once.
But
It all happened.
he's
It happened the
always-
same day, right?
yeah, I believe so.
In the car accident happened like right as the departure
the
happened.
moment of the departure. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a lot for a guy to take on.
So then, was she a half departure? Was she like an Evie? Like that is a possibility here. The way they say that Evie would go away, and then she'd come back. Like it's very possible that they're trying to make us believe that he is delusional about it, but he's not.
So maybe she's just. Okay,
I'm leaving
so,
open the possibility that.
Okay, so maybe that she is in maybe more of a permanent state of what Evie would go into.
Yes, and she's
then
only
maybe she
popping out of
snapped
it
out of
like
it.
as
But
often
still,
as she might go
wouldn't
into
that,
it.
What'd you call it? Atrophy?
Atrophy.
Atrophy would still take place.
Yeah.
So she still wouldn't be able to. I don't know. Like it seems to me, like he said, like the last thing, like our listener said, the last thing on their mind would be sexual intercourse.
But if they've been trying to breed for 10 years, that's the only way around that. Is if they talked for hours,
Or
they
maybe
probably
she's
went
gone
through
to the other
everything
side.
else, and
Maybe she said
they
they
came
told
around
me
to it.
that we need to get pregnant. Now maybe she did go
Yeah.
and talk to them. Like I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird thing. It's
I don't want to rule it out because
It's
I think it's
lost-ish.
almost obvious
Yeah.
that that it would be that. Well, they try to get back into town and get replacement bands, and the guy behind him in line's being a jerk.
because they want to get married there.
And Matt ends up attacking him. Is that what it was? He wanted to get married in.
Jordan, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what they were all dressed up for. They were like trying to get married. Yes, his best man was behind him and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes a
Yeah.
lot more sense.
that's why they were in tuxedos and shit.
Okay.
The people that attacked him or he attacked.
Yeah. Let's see. So John they're trying to I don't understand why he needs to get her back to the town necessarily. Like any thoughts on that? Because John calls his story bullshit. He tells the story
Right.
of he's like, what were you going to say or whatever, and then he says his story. And he's like, it's just not true. And that he needs to say he was sad and lonely and confused, and he's
Right.
sorry, and he makes him say that's the truth and that she never woke up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he asked what happened to him, and I don't know. They got booted out, and then he came in with Grace Under Fire, which
Right.
I can't remember anything else, but that was the first thing I thought of too, and that's what I wrote down. You
Grace
said it
Under
to me
Fire,
earlier,
yeah.
like when Grace Under Fire was there. So, but in that part, you mentioned that there was a Brazilian flag in the background.
Right.
Okay, and the Brazilian flag has Ordem Progresso.
Ordem e progresso.
And meaning order and progress.
Right. So like, I just tried to figure out why that flag, because that flag is prominent in that shot.
Okay.
It's there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's got to
Well,
be.
of course.
It's the show we're watching. It has to be there
It's
for a
not
reason.
like
So I
somebody
looked
brought it
up.
and put it in the background on their own.
I was trying to look up to see what the star pattern was, and that was like a really long explanation, so I didn't read too far into that. But
Yeah.
the order and progress, I mean, you can apply that almost to
what they're trying to do.
9,262 or 9,261 only.
Yeah.
Order, this is
Well, but the order and progress, that might be on the outside. They're trying to get in or something. I don't know. What could that be applying to? Which group would be taking on that as their mantra? Because this is a world where, the guilty remnants have their thing. Even though they don't outright say what their deal is, there's some other groups, too, that we've come across or heard something about, at least, where they have, what do you guys believe in?
right.
The thing with Lori and Tom.
Yeah.
That thing, they have their own thing, and they have their own rules now. They're starting to cultivate that.
Yes.
So
I
it's a world where groups gravitate towards ideas and principles and get behind it. And get
It'd be
behind a
cool to look
movement.
further into why that flag would have been there. I'd like to know more as to why they chose that flag to hang there.
I mean, I think that's what it is. They're figuring that's going to be
Order and
leading
progress.
somewhere. I bet you that leads somewhere interesting.
Okay.
There's no
Well,
way that
see,
was an accident that was in
That
the
flag was
background.
there. And the only reason that I had recognized the flag, otherwise it probably would have passed me by, but I make stickers for a living. And we have a section called World Flag Decals. And I have just all kinds of different country flags.
Yeah.
And that's one of the more popular ones. I was
Okay.
like, I couldn't remember exactly what country it was, so I went to our website and
I
looked
wonder if
through
that
the world
has
flags.
anything to do with the National Geographic. I wonder if the Brazilian flag is in there at all.
Or
any
if
of you
that,
have
or
this,
if that
let us
National
know.
Geographic has something to do with Brazil.
Yeah,
or was
I don't know.
there a thing in Brazil that this happened?
But
Because
there's
that-
all the articles inside that could have anything to do with that potentially.
Because
There
that
could
was
be
what
something
that
on order
mean-
and progress.
What was like the man story
The
in National
Minoans,
Geographic.
There was one thing about that, the Minoans,
Disappearing.
and how there were earthquakes and people would
See,
disappear.
I bet you that was South America.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that would
So there
make
could be
sense
another
with
connection
Brazilian.
to the
Yeah,
Brazilian flag.
Maybe that's. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were implying that happened in, in Jarden, when they showed that lady at the beginning of the season. I thought they were showing us that happened at that watering hole.
No, that's not. Wasn't even talking about her being a Minoan. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh,
I was
okay.
talking about the whole story of the Minoans and the National Geographic. That
Okay.
probably the Minoans. I'm not sure. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it as
Thinking that's
fact.
South American.
That maybe could have been a South American.
Okay,
thing.
I see.
So that's Brazil is the biggest part of South America.
Tell me what was happening with the ore, because I did sort of fade at that point for a minute.
Well, no, he went to Grace Under Fire and asked her for money.
Okay.
He said because he wanted to pay the Swedish dude for a way in to Jarden, the back door. he
Okay,
said.
okay.
Okay. So he only had $400, $400 something dollars.
Okay.
And the dude wanted 1,000.
Yeah.
So he went to her and said, "I'm a man of God. I need money." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She said, "Well, you're a man of God," and she started asking him a bunch of questions about the Bible.
Okay.
And she said, "What's your favorite book of the Bible?" He said, "Well, Job." And she said, "What's his wife's name?" "Job's wife." "Job's wife's name is not mentioned in the Bible," he said.
Okay.
That's what he said to her. I didn't know this beforehand. That kind of sounded like maybe I was trying to say that like I knew it, but no.
Yeah.
Job's wife is not meant. He said her name is not mentioned. She only has one line basically, and he repeated her line. I forget what it was. What did he say? "Do thy still have thy dignity," or something like that, or integrity? Do you still have your integrity?
I can't
Well,
remember.
she was basically testing him.
I thought I had seen something on the Reddit thing about Job. and how that applied here somehow. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
Well, anyway, so that made her buy him being a man of God. Because he answered those questions correctly.
Okay.
You know?
But then why did he have to hit him in the back with the oar?
I have no idea. That's where that's where it lost me. She just came out with the fat guy, and he's like, "Is he going to do it?" And she's like, she's got an oar in her hand.
Okay.
And she's like, "I want you to hit him as hard as you can with this oar." And he says, "When you do it, you have to say Brian." And Matt's reaction on camera was fantastic.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, and he like rubs his temple and like looks back at like, what the, like you could see the what the fuck is going on in his head. You know what I mean? Like what,
Yeah.
it was great. And he ends up hitting him with the oar and breaking it over his back.
Yeah, he hit him a couple times and he was like, ow.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, he was,
whatever.
That guy didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
And then he broke it over his back.
Yeah, because he
The
like
third
just
time, but
lost
he yelled
his
Brian the whole time he did it, and then it broke. So he did what he asked.
And
so
then he got the money and he went in the thing.
Yeah.
Now, did he get in through the tunnel?
No,
it
spit him back out. Remember, it started pouring rain and
That's
spit him
right.
back out.
Okay.
Because your
his
law
wife.
of numbers.
Yeah.
He couldn't get back in. That guy died in a car accident. That's how he was able to walk back in.
Now, did
Because Nora and them snuck him back in. Remember?
okay, but is that a real way to sneak in? Do you think that's a real back door to it? But like it just happened to start raining, and it didn't let
Your
them
law
in
of numbers is coming to effect
I
there.
know, but
Whatever
that's what
law
you're
of
saying.
nature,
That's what
spit
you're
him
saying.
back
Though.
out.
Like it's, but it is a way in. But it was like no.
There's too many people here right now.
Wow, so it could be keeping it literally.
So then he had to go in when he went, and then he snuck in. Him and his wife snuck in with Nora, and while they were sneaking in, that car accident happened. Because there was no cops around yet.
Yeah.
So that had to have just happened with the goats, and the goats caused the car
maybe
accident.
she doesn't count because she's not really there.
I think it's like it
Yeah,
gave
'cause
him
Nora
a
and
choice
them
at that
helped,
point
yeah.
with the kid. Like almost the town was giving him the town or miracle or whatever it is that's
Yeah,
over
it
this
was
place,
saying it's either
giving him
him
this
or-
choice. And when he saw that kid, he like knew that he had to go and find his way back in. He knew what he had to do at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the town didn't spit him back out or like catapult him out, you know what I mean, per se, you know what I mean, because that's not exactly what happens, but
Yeah.
like they spit him back out of that
No, it
tunnel
did, yeah.
basically. But he knew in his heart, in his mind, that he wasn't staying.
Even
So that's
when
why
he
it
got
let him
in.
stay there to hand over the kid to
When he
pass
came back, I see.
his presence to the kid. So and then he left
Yeah.
and went back outside.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. He was talking to Mary about when they used to read poetry and stuff, and I wrote down the poem that he read to her. Though I am old with wandering. Wait, though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips and take her hands and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done. The silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of thee, and then it cut off. I don't know if there was anything relevant in there at all, but
Well,
I always
to find
make
out
note
where
of
she
things
has
like
gone.
that. Yeah.
You know.
And kiss her lips and take her hands, and
Yeah.
like it feels like
That's what he was doing the
what
whole
he's
episode. Like
doing.
he's kissing her lips and taking her hands and like
Yeah, though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone. Yeah. So
wandering through lands.
Yeah. And then Nora lets him out of the truck, and there was an accident with the goats. And
it was
that was the dad, so he's dead there, and yeah,
Right.
it was the guy who stole
Doesn't
his
belong.
bracelet.
He cheated his way in.
I put the place as self-correcting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like he cheated
And I
his
was like,
way in.
fuck, and then he gives
He
the kid
stomped
the
on his
bracelet.
hand and did something evil to get in.
Yeah. He said he doesn't feel he should have to hide
Because he would have had to.
to try
Well,
to
maybe
stay
not
in.
with the kid. To let the kid in too. He
Okay,
would have had to
so he
hide.
was talking
Plus,
directly about that.
John was the one who walked up to him at the end, like towards the end of the episode. Like John walked up to him like, "You don't belong here, motherfucker. I told you I was going to help you. So now I know you don't have a wristband. So what are you doing here?"
Oh, that's why. Not because he's working out the number thing. I see. I'm with you there on that. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't want a wristband. Matt wants to free the guy in the repent wood thing, and ends up doing so at the end.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed the "No One's Laughing at God" song.
Yeah, that was cool. That was during what?
That was during that end montage where he ends up going up and taking over for the guy in the stocks. I think is what it's called. I can't really remember, but you put your head in your hands.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Yeah, it's like a.
But it's like in front device. Of the of the whole.
Up on top of an RV in front of everybody, top of a taco truck.
I don't know. It was. I don't think it was as good as the previous episode. Like I'm not huge into the Matt stuff. Maybe it's just him.
Didn't he get the 4th or 5th episode in the last season?
Yes, he did. It was
almost, around the same episode that he
and
got.
And that's fine. We need to know his stuff. It'll probably pay off
later. It's going to be relevant. Right.
He's not my favorite of the characters.
No, he's not.
And
I like the combination of the Garveys and whatever John's family's name is.
Yeah, I'm not. I thought they said like John Allen or something, but I could be totally wrong on that. I can't remember John's name.
That might be right. Allen may be right. But yeah, I think I like his. I like that. I want to see where that goes, because for some reason he's going to find out that that's his palm print, that he was there at that lake that night.
No, the palm print was just.
I know, or whatever. He's going to find out somehow that he was there. That Kevin was there, and that's going to come back to haunt him.
Yeah.
Or, they're going to clash somehow. Come on, the tension is high between those two. John and Kevin.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where the hell all this is going. I feel like John is going to eventually find out that Kevin was there in some way or another.
Might not be the palm print, but I think, yeah.
Maybe he'll tell him or something. I don't know. Maybe that'll just stay a secret. Maybe it won't be relevant.
Come on.
I mean, do you think that she's just gone? Do you think she was departed because she didn't leave? I mean, why would it have been decided for Evie to go?
Right. See, that's another question as to why.
I mean,
why
we get her because, well, they were saying that she was born a month early, or a couple months earlier than.
But why the two other girls with her then?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would they be departed? Just go. I don't think they were departed, man. I think somebody set something up.
Do you think that somebody grabbed them and then they locked the door and shut it?
Yeah, something like that.
And wiped their prints clean, and maybe how great would it be if we got a third view of that incident, and it's somebody watching Kevin and Patty watching John and them show up, and they were the one that really did it. We get to see how they left. But maybe that'll be one of the departures that we get to actually see, what actually happened.
Or that, or they were kidnapped, and it's all a setup to try to make Jordan not look like a miracle. So one of these outside people could have snuck in and done this. One of the people from the camp on the outside could have snuck in.
It just happened to balance when Kevin and them got there. I mean, and they snuck out but didn't leave somebody in. They knew that Kevin and them were coming in. It all works.
They don't necessarily. It could. Who knows? You said the place is self-correcting.
Maybe there's a security system. Yeah. Man. I don't know. This is one of the best shows going on TV at the moment. I really enjoy talking about this show. There's a lot of cool shit in there, and if you're paying it close attention, there's...
And see, I know you relate a lot of it to Lost.
Well, I just look at it in the sense that, finding something like this, which you mentioned 2 minutes before we started recording, Ordum e Progresso, that's one of those kinds of things that Damon Lindelof would
Sticks
do.
In there. Absolutely.
And it's of course that's going to mean something.
See, but when I'm watching that show, I don't even think about that, the Lost connection most of the time. I don't really think about that until we talk about it. So I think the show stands on its own in that way.
It absolutely
what
does.
I mean? That's not what I'm trying to say. For me, it's not just... I'm not saying that it's just because of the Lost connection for you that you like the show, because the show is very good. There's no denying it. You can't be like, oh, I like this just because the guy who created Lost did it. That's not what I'm trying to get at, but that's not part of it for me, really. Like it's just a really good show on its own, and I love fishing for this kind of stuff in this show, in the whole kind of like,
but that was
put your hands on your head and just be like, holy, what the fuck?
The only way that I
kind of
compare it to Lost in that sense is that it's worth watching every detail. Like there's not a show that's been on recently that I would buy something out of the show. Like I want that National Geographic magazine.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's not super easy to get.
No, probably not.
So I'll probably have to find it on eBay or something and pay a bunch of money for it. Like that's, but I want to have it because they could have just gone, hey, let's pick this thing and then just, okay, let's write our show based on this. We pick this thing here, pick that thing here. Maybe that was the inspiration for, maybe the guy as a kid read that National Geographic, Tom Perrotta or whatever his name is.
And he thought of the whole thing, like what happened if...
Yeah, and then just somehow made it all go in there.
Disappeared off the face of the planet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dying here in your
aliens. No, you're not dying.
Cinnamon cloud.
You were the one fucking harping on that bullshit while we're out there. Don't give me that. Don't wave your hand in your face like it's bothering
People
you.
used to smoke in hospitals, okay? Babies used to have to breathe that shit. Stop complaining when people are vaping and you have to smell a little poof of cinnamon. Because it's not... You're not suffering.
Even though that's not just a little poof.
No, that's not just a little poof.
All right.
I don't know. Anything else on Leftovers this week? I look forward to getting back to the Garveys. Are there any other stories that we haven't picked up on in a while? I mean,
well, no. The only one they could actually go back to, because I think Matt's only going to get one episode. We're not going to get 2 episodes for Matt, right?
Another thing. In this episode, when Matt was sitting in the waiting room, it said something like, what was the thing about the wind in Biblical Rains in Sydney? It was on the newspaper there. So again, Australia. So we're biblical stuff there. His dad wants to go there because that's where they're going to be reborn. They mentioned
a guy there being
reborn. He's going to restart the world.
From
you know
Sydney.
what I mean? That was what he was saying. I'm gonna. We could.
So what's important about Australia?
Yeah, what's going on there? I mean, that's super exciting. That's one of
maybe
my
the Garveys pack up and go to Australia next.
I mean, the dad's going there.
Yeah, we're not gonna get a whole season to him.
No, but if we get one episode of him in Australia
to see what's going on
there. See what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Who knows what's going on? I never even considered what's going on elsewhere. I
like the guy who plays his dad.
Yes, he's a compelling actor. Yeah. He's got that thing where you want to hear what he says next.
Yeah, and I want to see more of him, you know.
Yeah. Kevin still has that little bit of insecurity in the way he talks to where it's...
I mean, but that dude steals the screen, though, man.
Yeah.
Kevin Garvey, I don't know how he stays...
I don't know how he stays so depressed all the time.
But, dude, seriously, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, when he's on screen, it's like, bam, like, he steals it. He's doing a fantastic job at this role, dude. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's a career role.
Yeah, for sure. He's doing really, really good.
Do things like that happen with shows on? Yeah, I guess
it's coming now because of how big television is now. It's not. It didn't used to be like that. Television actors were looked down upon by movie actors in a way. You know, it was a secondary thing. Not anymore so much anymore, man.
TV is far better.
I mean, come on. How big of a star is Peter fucking Dinklage now?
Yeah.
Because of an HBO series.
And how many, and
he wouldn't be as big of a star as he is now, and getting all the kinds of movie roles
beforehand, and nothing until Game of Thrones.
Right. And now people want him in their movies.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he was good in Pixels.
I'm ready for there to be like I haven't yet. I'm ready for there to be like a Netflix star, like somebody that's born via a Netflix vehicle. That hasn't really happened yet, has it?
No, because the major Netflix show I would probably say is House of Cards. Yeah, and that's Kevin fucking Spacey.
Yeah,
man.
Kevin Spacey and the
Academy Award nominated or winning actor.
Her last name. Yeah.
So those are well-known actors before Netflix, but I don't know, man. A couple of actors I've seen in a lot of the Netflix originals are really, really good, man. Yeah. The two that stand out to me are like that Hemlock Grove and. That came back too. That the final season's all up on the thing, and what was the other one? Marco Polo. Should be coming back pretty soon.
I gotta be honest. I don't have time for any more series right now.
I get you. I understand that.
I feel like we jam packed everything. I'm really glad that we're taking a break from Walking Dead right now. I love the show and I can't wait to watch it. Still, I'm still gonna.
I got 90 minutes of that shit to suck up when I get home.
The podcast from now on is all, instead of having to shove it in somewhere before.
And trying to take notes and try to be all on time. Yeah,
so
I get it.
It'll be great to just be able to sit back and watch that show and
maybe
just
we'll
write
do a
down
little
theories
30-minute like.
Every once in a while, maybe at the end of an 8, because they say it does change every 8, so maybe we'll do that.
Right. I love the storytelling format they're using right now, though.
Well, we can't spoil that in here because
non-linear
people may not be watching that. And
I'm not spoiling it.
You're here for the leftovers. We got it.
Right.
Again, if you want to support us, go to thisishowtowatchtv.com and click through to the Amazon link when you do your holiday shopping, because you know you're going to buy a bunch of shit. So it may as well go to somebody. And if you're watching this, then you'd probably be willing to throw it our way. So, we'll be back next week with the next...
Or not, just do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. New episode of Leftovers next week, and we will be back for that. Find us on the iTunes as well as the YouTubes.
YouTube's, iTunes, thisishowtowatchtv.com.
Whatever. Whatever. Okay? Just whatever, because, damn it, I screwed it up. Son of a bitch. I screwed it up.
Did you freeze it? No.
This is how to watch TV.
Totally professional. See you later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.